Hey guys, it's Carly from All the Pretty Books, owner of over 750 Harry Potter books ranging from rare and signed, translations, and others. I've been asked a lot about why I collect Harry Potter, so today we're going to talk about my Harry Potter story. I was actually introduced to Harry Potter through my sister. She was a huge fan at the time. I wanted nothing to do with him. It was back when the first movie had just come out, so 2001-ish, and you could buy it, so I think it was closer to maybe 2002, something like that. The first four books were out, and she had them all, and I wanted nothing to do with them. Typical sibling stuff. I thought they were stupid. I didn't care about a boy wizard. Who cared? And I made fun of her actually for liking them. She would take her wand out, and she would go to Harry Potter parties with her little friends. She would do the book release things, and I just thought it was all really silly. Little did I know. One day I was sick in bed with pneumonia, and I did not have the strength to get up and turn off the TV, and my sister had put on the Harry Potter movie. And I watched it, and I loved it. I really loved it. I watched it again. It was so magical and so much fun and so pretty. So I asked my sister, trying not to be super enthusiastic, if she had the books, and she did. And I read the first four books in about 24, 30 hours, something like that, because I was sick in bed. I had nothing else that I could be doing. I had pneumonia, I couldn't walk, everything. I just felt miserable. So I read the books. I read through them so fast, and I couldn't wait for book 5. I was so excited. I pre-ordered book 5 and pre-ordered book 6, pre-ordered book 7, and in fact, funnily, when book 7 came out, I was so excited for it, and I got my dates wrong, and I had scheduled a vacation in Germany, so I was in Kaiserslautern, Germany when the book came out, and I was fit to be tied. I was so worried I was going to find out how it ended before I got to read it, that one of my friends went out and found an English copy, put me in a room, told me to read it, not come out until I finished. So that's what I did. But why collect it? Well, very fast, I've always collected things. My grandparents were antique dealers, so I used to spend my summers with them, and we would go all over the United States doing antique shows. So I just thought people collected things. It never dawned on me it was weird. And in fact, I made my car payment buying and selling different items, that whether I collected them or not. That's just how I did things, and it just like my grandparents. It never dawned on me that that was unusual. And then a few years ago on April 6th, I lost my dad in an awful, awful car accident. It was a really bad one. It injured a lot of other people, killed another person. And then shortly after that, we were thrown into a wrongful death suit that lasted a long time, which is thankfully resolved, but it was a lot of new things. Here I was, my dad, my favorite person in the world. We were two peas in a great little pod, and we were the best of friends. We had a great relationship. I adored him, and he adored me. And then he was just gone. I had a hard relationship with my mom. We didn't really see eye to eye on much, and I didn't really know what to do with my sister. And I didn't quite know how to start over, because I felt like I had to. I felt like so much of my life had been lost, and I felt like I had to start over. Even though Harry didn't know his parents, I felt like we had a connection. He felt like a friend, and that was very welcoming at that time. But more than that, I think I gravitated to the stories. It was more so because of my absolute respect for J.K. Rowling. I love that she started from nothing. She wrote this book. She wrote book 1, Philosopher's Stone. She had a new baby. She had lost her marriage. That was a devastating time for her. She had to leave Portugal and go back to the UK. And whole lots of new, and from an awful place in her life is where she started over again, and she thrived, and she did super well. And I respect her so much, her strength, her grit, her courage. It's really hard to follow a dream, and her determination to get her book published. That's all she wanted, was to get her book published. As far as collecting Harry Potter, and I went to grad school for the first time, and I was studying linguistics, and I joined a book. It was called History of the Book, and we made paper, we bound books, we went to archives, and we got to see really cool things, like an illuminated page from an authentic Gutenberg Bible, which was beautiful. We got to see the original Diderot Encyclopedia, which is about as tall as I am. We got to see a papyrus from Egypt. It was 3,000 years old. I cannot imagine. It just took my breath away. So I think that's how I started going toward books, but I still wasn't into the collecting Harry Potter thing yet. And then for whatever reason, I was sitting in my house one day in Dallas. I decided that collecting Harry Potter screen used movie props would be amazing. I don't know why. So that's what I did for about 6 months. I still have a few screen used props on my shelves. And then about 6 months after I started doing that, I decided I wanted to do the Harry Potter books. I made up my mind right at that time that I wanted to have a really cool, really large collection, and I wanted to be a well-known collector. And that's what I'm working my way to be. I've met the best people. I've met people who, they're just all around good. I've had people be so kind, and they've sent me things. They don't even know me in person, and they've sent me things just because we talked about it and I mentioned I would like it, and they sent something my way. And that's invaluable. I've met people that have become my best friends here. In fact, I met several of my really good friends through eBay and Instagram. And I've met up with some of these people in real life, and they're incredible. So if you're not a part of the Harry Potter collectorship, you don't even have to have a huge collection. You can collect anything you want, and you can just, it's a really fun place. It's a really good place, and it's filled with many wonderful people who I think may have had their, everybody has their own struggles, but it seems like Harry Potter is a safe place for people who are different, who are coming from some really dark times and dark places. And we kind of get together and bond, and I think we make each other better. So that's my Harry Potter collecting story. That's how I came to Harry Potter, and that is why I collect Harry Potter. And if you have any questions about collecting Harry Potter, you are welcome to find me on Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, Facebook. You can send me an email through my website, or you can just send me an email. I'll put some neat links down below. And I've got I have several really fun unboxings coming up. I've got some neat stuff coming my way, so I'll be doing those in the near future too. So with that, I'm going to say thanks for watching, and very happy collecting.